Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. It's Zoomy Tuesday. For those of you that don't know what Zoomy Tuesday is, it's the only day of the week where I feel really lively. Today's a really quick project, and if you don't know already that we have a Facebook group called Christine's Home Affairs, well, you know now. One of the members on there, called Donna, made some really cute sunglasses or glasses cases made with men's ties. That's what we're doing today. We're going to chop up men's ties and make a couple of glasses cases. So all you need is a tie and away you go. Let's get to it. I have a bunch of different ties here, all with different widths at the widest point. And you don't need to have anything really wide unless you've got some glasses that have got really big lenses on them. I'm going to choose, I think, these two, and I'll use these in another project. And we only need the widest section as well, but the rest of it I plan on using in another project. So all we need is enough room to fit a pair of glasses, and the only ones that I have handy are the ones on my head at the moment. They'll do. So I want my glasses to be able to fit inside the widest section of the tie, and as long as it fits in there, that's all we need. So you want to have enough room that the glasses will fit. We'll chop off this section here, and you want to be able to fold this flap over. It's as simple as that. This one's a little bit bigger. So I've made a chalk mark at the bottom here where I'd like this to finish, and I need to make sure I allow enough for a seam as well. So from there to there measures 10 inches or 25 centimetres, and all I need to do is cut that off. And we'll set these aside for another project. I'm going to take the label off because I don't need that to be in the way when I put my glasses on. You can pick ties up for really cheap at thrift stores. You probably find some in your wardrobe somewhere. We'll turn them both inside out. And I'll remove the stabilizer from both ties. And if any seams have opened up, what I will do is open up the rest of it, because this will make it easier for me to put a stabilizer on the fabric. I've grabbed a couple of bits of scrap stabilizers. These are a lightweight fusible Parlan. And what I'm going to do is place my tie template over that stabilizer, and keeping this seam folded over, trace the outline of the tie. And then we can cut that out. And we will place that inside the tie. I'm going to also chop off the bottom bit because I don't want it the same length as the tie. So I'll chop off the seam allowance. And then I'll place the fusible side face down inside the tie here. And when you're happy with the placement, go and fuse that together. So we'll do that for both of them now. Okay, so I've fused the stabiliser to the wrong side of the inside of the tie. And what I've also done, I've folded the flap over just by 1 centimetre at the top there. So we've got from the diagonal, or where the fabric comes to a point, measure down 1 centimetre or 3/8 of an inch, or just eyeball whatever you think looks good, and that will be the fold over flap when we finish our pouch later. Now what we can do is open this out, bring the right sides together, and we're going to re-stitch that side seam. I'm going to move this out of the way, this little flap at the top, and I'm going to start sewing right where that fabric meets at the top. On the stitching line here, I'll stitch from here all the way down to the other end. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I'll start right at the top of the stitching line, and I'm going to follow the original crease from the stitching line as well. Once you've done that side seam, you can turn this triangle back around go to the bottom end, and where the stitching line, where we've just done that stitching line, is just flatten the fabric out, find the centre. We can make a little nick on the fold, or you can mark it with a pin. Open that and bring this seam in line with that little notch that we've made. So once you've lined up that seam with that centre notch, place the fabric back under the machine and stitch straight across. And that's it, we're finished sewing. So our side seam's done, our bottom seam is done. We can trim the corners, and we'll turn this the right way out. So I've gone and given that a really good press, and the last thing we need is to put some little plastic snaps on the top to close it up. As I mentioned before, I folded this over around about 1 centimetre or 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to place one snap right about here, and I'm just going to place that in line with that seam in the centre, poke a hole through the flap, pop the cap on the outside, put the other side on as well, and we'll squeeze that together. Next, we'll take this, fold it down where you want it. You can press this down and try and make an imprint, or just take your awl and find the centre underneath, and once again we'll poke the awl through the stitching line, but not out through the other side. So you can see that on the inside of the pouch there. Grab the other cap and we'll put that through from the inside. place the other side over the top. And squeeze that as well. And we'll do the same for this one. And we're all done. So you can pop your glasses in there, close that up. Too easy, right? For the stabiliser on the inside of these ties, I've just used a fusible fleece, which is what I usually use in my bag making. The best product to use would probably be some kind of blanketing or even a felt square or a piece of felt, something that is nice and soft against the glasses. I think that would actually be a little bit nicer on the inside. But this one works just fine as well. So how's that for a quick and easy project? You probably don't even need to undo the seam on the inside. Some people may choose not to stabilise the inside either. I've just done that because the seams were coming apart anyway, and I do like there to be a little bit more stability in the fabric, especially when you've got really flimsy ties like this and it's just a piece of satin that's very fine. The snaps aren't going to hold on that very well. So it's a great little upcycle project. If you've got a ton of towels, if you've got a ton of ties at home that are just sitting there or going to waste, you can quickly whip up a few of these. I've got the ends left over. This is only a short one. I can probably still use that. I will use that on something else. And this is part of the tie that I have left over as well. So I've got a project in mind for that, another simple one. Hopefully I can get onto that this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.